Of the Texas school shooting, Western Mass News is looking into the role resource officers play in our local schools, and more importantly, what their training is in these active shooter situations. Western Mass News reporter Paris Dunford joins us live after talking with West Springfield officials. Paris.
Chris, the city of West Springfield has 3 school resource officers. All of them had to go through extensive training to learn how to handle dangerous situations like an active shooter. Uvalde officials in Texas are now saying there was no district police officer inside Robb Elementary School when the 18-year-old gunman entered the building, though their investigation is still ongoing. Now the question is raised, what could an officer have done if there was one inside the school?
I would think it's safe to say you know the intent of the person walking into your school wearing body armor and tactical gear. So that is a threat right out of the gate.
We checked in with Sergeant Joseph LaFrance with the West Springfield Police Department, who was a school resource officer for 5 years. He says there are 3 West Springfield police officers stationed at 3 different schools: West Springfield High School, Middle School, and Lower Pioneer Valley Educational Collaborative School. Each officer goes through extensive training to be allowed to serve in this role, and part of that training is learning how to deal with an active shooter.
Active shooter training has been pretty popular the last 10 years, and we do it annually. At least once a year, if not twice.
LaFrance tells us they are taught to engage with the shooter and keep them in one spot. The longer the shooter is focused on the officer, the more time students and staff have to get away.
Based on their training for active shooter training is to go to the source of the shooting, where the noise is. You have to engage the active shooter. But unfortunately, sometimes the SROs are outgunned.
Superintendent Connor tells Western Mass News after hearing about the tragedy in Texas, he thought about his West Springfield schools and how he can protect his students. He says knowing that some of his schools have resource officers makes him more confident that his students are safe.
Without a doubt, I cherish the relationship that we have with our SROs, and it does. And it lends a sense of ease, I think, for the kids as well.
Now, coming up tonight at 6, we take a look at the background checks in place here in Western Mass when someone applies for a license to carry. Reporting in West Springfield, Paris Dunford for Western Mass News.